Okay, good day, good evening, good afternoon. This is Alex Haigh with EXP and the Haigh Group of the Treasure Coast. Today, we're going to talk about the top 3 reasons why deals fall through. Stay tuned. Okay, so why do deals fall through? I get this a lot, and this is part of the reason why you want to use a good real estate agent, because there's a lot of ways that deals can fall through. But the top 3, all right, let's start off first with you go under agreement. In the state of Florida, at least, it is as is with the right to inspect. Most of the contracts, 99% of them, if not more, are as is with the right to inspect. So inspect means that you get an inspection on the home. Now, there's a clause in the contract. If buyer determines in buyer's sole discretion that property is not acceptable to buyer may cancel this contract by written notice. Now, you'll notice in there, in buyer's sole discretion. So that means you can get an inspection by a professional inspector, which we highly suggest that you do, or you can literally inspect the home yourself as long as you don't damage the home in the process. Now, let's say you go out and you get that professional inspection, and the inspection comes back. Now look, if there are little things on the inspection, again, this is why you want to have a good real estate agent. You also want to have a good inspector as well that won't make a really big deal out of small things. Now, if it's an old home, you should expect that there are probably things, chip tile here, maybe a shingle out of place there, right? These are all things on an older home that are going to be existing on an older home. Things that get old, they break down and so forth. The person that owns a home hopefully did some good preventative maintenance, but the ultimate point is that if you find things on the inspection that are normal, you want to look at that and kind of go, okay, in the grand scheme of things, what is this going to take us to? Is a shingle on the roof really a big deal? Probably not. Piece of chip tile, not a big deal. But if your home inspector blows up on that, or your real estate agent kind of goes, oh, well, all these things are wrong and you should bail, just understand that, really inspection is there. I always say to find the really big things, mold, termites, wood rot, those kind of major things that are really going to be a problem down the road. Now, within that inspection, remember, it is as is, but you can ask the homeowner, hey, we found a bunch of little things here. It adds up to, this, what we think, a couple $1,000s. Could you reduce the sale price by that amount? And then you're going to be able to move forward. And usually the third thing we're going to get into really lends into all 3 of these. If everybody keeps their head and doesn't get super emotional about it, and you understand an old house is going to have some stuff, a new house isn't, you can ask for that reduction in price. I suggest that you don't ask to have the things repaired, because then you get into this whole potential quagmire of their, handyman or a contractor or so forth. The best bet really is to lower the price and or give concessions. So that's the first thing, is inspection. Really have a good agent that can help you walk through that, and that agent should have a good referral for an inspector that's going to be honest and authentic and, not really make super focus on little things. So the first one is inspection. The second thing of what we find is appraisal, especially in a market that we're in right now, where it's a very highly trajectory of ascending prices. The leading edge of that, we're seeing multiple offers, and we're seeing some, I'll quite say, irrational exuberance, if you will, where people are actually going over the sale price or over the asking price. Now, what starts to happen there, we have had over the years always problems with appraisals here or there. Not every time always, but every year there's problems with appraisals if you do enough deals. So really what you want to do is, before you go to contract, get a very good idea from your agent of what do we think this house is really worth. If your agent is a good agent, they should be able to run comparables for you so that you potentially are not overpaying, and or at least you understand value. And if an appraisal comes in, at value or even a little bit below, hopefully you understand, hey, it is worth less, or maybe it's worth more. Again, I can't speak to that other than have a good agent that can run comparables so that you know what the average price per square foot sold is. Very important. That gives you a measurement. If you went to the, if you always say, if you went to the supermarket, you would want to know how much bananas cost over at Publix, and how much bananas cost at Winn-Dixie, and how much bananas cost at the corner fruit stand, so you have an understanding of value, right? So that's a good understanding of, like, hey, appraisal is important, and if you keep your head, and your agent can keep their head and is a good communicator, if the appraisal comes in low, then maybe you can work with the homeowner to reduce that sale price. Now, that a good agent with good communication skills depends on the terms of the contract as well. It's not always price, but the terms, i.e., is it financing? Is it conventional financing? Is it cash? All those things kind of come into play when you're communicating about maybe a low appraisal of, hey, how can we make this work out? And that is emotion. A lot of it emotion. I want the house and we're willing to do more, but that won't appraise. And then working through that to mitigate if you do get a low appraisal. So make sure you have that good agent that understands comps, can help you understand comps, and then can work with the other agent if something goes sideways. The third is, to the first 2 points, emotion. Manage your emotion. If you want something, maybe, be careful about jumping into something, but also managing emotion might be fear. So you might come up with fear. Are we buying a house that's got a bunch of things that are wrong with it because something came up on the inspection? Well, again, having a good agent to go, hey, those are all kind of things that you should expect. There's going to be chip tile. There's going to be, the roof has a shingle off. Maybe the gutter's hanging a little bit. Hey, can you get that fixed? Or can we get a handyman out there after closing to get, a couple $1,000 and get this stuff repaired? So, everything else is, the location is great. The bedroom, bathroom, square footage, all of that. The price point is really good. Don't lose that house because you had, a little bit of an emotional tie to, are we doing something wrong or what have you. So again, having that great agent to help you really understand, I say, what is real? Like, what is real? What happens in these deals typically is that, if you've never done something before, it can be scary. Or even if you bought 2 or 3 homes in your life and you get an inspection report and it's got a bunch of stuff on it, hey, don't freak out. If you have a good agent, maybe you can manage to use that inspection report to drop that sale price or give you concessions towards your closing costs. So I hope those 3 help. Those would be the top 3 reasons, and really encapsulating all that emotion. You want an agent who's a professional, who can keep their head and walk you through that process of really, hey, the things that you should be concerned about and the things that can be mitigated that maybe are not, or should be not a big concern. So I hope that was helpful. Again, you always want to use a great agent to help you through the whole process. There's a lot of little things in there which we try to add value with these videos. And we appreciate you stopping by. Please stop by again. If there's anything we can ever do to help, all our information is below. Reach out. We're here to serve. Thank you so much.